Hi guys, this is Brendon Byrne with Hidden Ministries. I'm doing another Q&A, and this week's question and answer is it okay to date a non-Christian? Now the simple answer of is it okay or not, God gave us free will and we can actually make that choice ourselves, but the greater question is it God's best for us? Is it really what's going to benefit our lives and give us the most life and freedom that He wants for us? So I wrote down 5 different points that I was thinking of that I think are great to consider if you're someone asking these questions. The first question is, I would ask yourself, where does this desire to date a non-Christian come from? Find out the motivation behind it. It could be coming from many different things. It could even be being a little bit angry towards the church, being bitter at God, all these kind of things. Something could be happening in the background, and then you can end up choosing your relationship out of reaction rather than actually choosing someone you care about. So it's good to know what's going on in the background and check your motives. Why do you want to date a non-Christian in the first place? The second reason is core values are very important. Me and my wife are really different from one another, really different personalities, but we have very similar core values. And it's really cool because even though we're different and we see and view life differently, our core values really unite us to where we can move forward, and it really gives us a similar foundation where we can both build on together. If your core values are different, then you're going to have a different foundation and it can be a little difficult to move forward. So that's something to think about and to really consider if a non-Christian can have the same core values as you. Thirdly, we are meant to bring our personal relationship with God into our relationship. So when you're in a relationship with someone, there's 2 people, and each person has their own relationship with God. And that relationship with God is almost insurance that He's going to keep growing us, keep maturing us, and we keep developing. And so when we each have that, we're each moving forward, and then we get to come together and reap the fruit of that when we're together in a relationship. But if one person doesn't have that, it can be difficult that they don't have that core value of growing or maturing, of letting God speak into their life. That could actually end up backfiring as time goes on. So do you want to enter into a relationship where someone isn't doing that, doesn't have that? Point number 4, I think this one's really important. It's about being able to see your partner, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your spouse, being able to see them through God's eyes. Now, I really wanted to see my spouse through God's eyes. I didn't want to just love her with my own humanly affection, with what my feelings came up. I wanted something greater. I wanted to be able to love her the way God saw her. And there's something very powerful about learning how to see someone through God's perspective. Now, if you're with someone who isn't a Christian, it's going to be difficult for them to connect with God and see you from His perspective. And I know for me in my life, in my marriage now, it is a huge part of our marriage for me to see Katie, my wife, through God's eyes, and for her to see me through God's eyes. It's such a blessing. It's so amazing, and you might not have that. So that's something to consider. And then the last point is, it's not a good idea to date someone based on what they can be, their potential, what they may be. We need to choose people where they're at. So if there's a part of you in the back of your mind that's thinking, oh, but they have such a good heart, they'll probably become a Christian, I can help them be a Christian. If that's part of your reason for dating them, we should never date someone off of the potential of who they can be. What we end up doing is we end up almost manipulating or trying to control them, force them into something, and it ends up building resentment on both sides and being codependent. So it's not a smart idea to ever enter into a relationship where your goal is to actually change them from who they are. We need to choose people where they're at and make sure we actually love them and accept them where they're at. And if you don't, then they're probably not the right person for you. So those are my 5 points. Hopefully that's helpful for those of you who may be asking this question, whether or not you want to date a non-Christian. And I look forward to being answering more questions for you. If you have a question, please write it on our Facebook page. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.